Alright, after a short intermission, here we go again. Ryukyu World Conquest. Now with several roadblocks in the way. If you were around for the past hour or so, you'll know I've been breaking my balls over figuring out why some nations, when you annex and release them, keep their aggressive expansion, whereas others lose it all. Why? Just why? Shan, I decimated Shan. I ripped them in half before fully annexing them and releasing them. They lost all their aggressive expansion. However, Langshang annexed them in a single war, released them, and they kept theirs. Jampur, I waged war on them twice. Once I only took money, second time I broke truce and annexed them and spat them out. They kept their aggressive expansion against me. Why? It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the cores they have on you, or whether or not they border you, or have a land connection to you. I can't figure it out, but I'm trying to, and over the weekend I'm going to spend a bit of time poking around in the game's code to see what sticks. I seem to have narrowed it down a bit. It seems to have something to do with the modifiers they have towards you before annexation and release, but that's the best we can do. If anybody has any great ideas, please let me know. I'm not talking about maybes, I'm talking about I have found that this works, Jake. Test it out yourself. Let's get a quick recap though. We are in the middle of completely destroying Southeast Asia here. Polish off Aceh and Malacca, forging a claim on Malacca with a view to take them on once our truce is up in 5 years. Bengal, once you've finished converting Hora to glorious animism ways, we'll begin the diplo annexation of you. Tibet has now decided to get in a war with Oirat. How in the world did Tibet manage to occupy that? Who will ever know? So this is our chance to jump on Tibet. I highly doubt Oirat's going to annex them all in one go, and we're going to prevent them from doing that anyway. If we can just push north as far as we can, we should be able to prevent them annexing them. Or indeed taking much of their land. I want to annex and release Tibet. I mean, after all, they don't have many modifiers against us, do they? So they shouldn't have. They shouldn't keep their aggressive expansion when we release them. If they do, however, then I've no idea what to think. I'd probably cancel their vassalage and just annex them outright. I don't know. I just don't know. But we'll figure it out. Other than that, we've consumed quite a bit of Orissa, giving the cores back to Bengal. I think the time has come to completely eviscerate Orissa. Now, whether or not I annex and release them, or just plain annex them, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I did core one of their provinces. It might seem a bit of a waste for that province to release them afterwards. Not too worried about regaining cores, but I am a little worried about the nationalism that would happen in these provinces. And again, I can't help but worry about the aggressive expansion I would get from annexing and releasing them. So many things to consider and not a lot of time to make a decision about. Fabricating a claim here, improving relations there. Relations are pretty much maxed out there, so not to worry. We are colonising the South Cape of Africa, with a view to stopping any of the Iberian powerhouses from doing the African reach around. Some of the land is arid, but that doesn't hurt too much. Settler chance doesn't go down, it's just the annual settler increase, and we're not too worried about that. We'll just take the coast for now. Can worry about the inland later. Free Tibet, Jake, you owe them. Yeah, sure. Taste my crushing oppression, Tibet. Now, did I core these provinces? What am I even thinking of doing with them? There's always the option of annexing and releasing you, however that would get rid of some land that I've already cored. So, no. What we'll just do is we will just core this land. Let's not use this screen, let's use this one, just in case. Looking good. It'll all be done in about 3 years. And soon we'll get our next national idea, which is really good. I should probably take a view to setting myself up for the exploit. I can do that by tanking my religious unity somewhat. In order to do that, I'd have to take quite a lot of provinces, so maybe, just maybe, it would be a better idea to just annex Tibet outright. Annexing a lot of land outright would be the ideal solution, really. I've actually got to get my religious unity down now. Right, so if I just say that these lot are the guys that stick around and patrol for rebels down there, they have to keep an eye here and be ready to pounce on Orissa. I gotta fight Tibet ASAP in Tibet. I feel a bit cheap using the military ledger, but I'm prepared to get my hands dirty when climbing 3 rugged mountains like this. Tibet have barely got an army, 4,000. Bengal on his own could probably tear them a new one. Yeah, he certainly could with his 16k. Alright, we get one of our diplomats home, and we will deal with that. I usually say this, but if there's any problems with the audio or visual, please let me know in chat. If you tag your comment with Jake or DDR, it'll highlight it, and I'll be able to read it, and I'll try to answer any questions that come up. Of course, I haven't got my glasses on, so let's change that, and let's show our superiority. Done and done. Oof, didn't think we'd be taking attrition there, laddies. Split you in half, get some of you on there. That seems reasonable. Alright, here's hoping my vassals do the work for me here, because I'd quite like to regain a bit of my manpower here. Also, if you're not getting quality options, just try spamming Twitch with reports on my channel. Maybe they'll take a look at it. I don't know. We've got the hardiest seamen going. Good to see. Pegu's a good little vassal. I've no intention of annexing them anytime soon. Bengal, on the other hand, they got some good land that I want, so I'm going to keep them. DDR, multiple people are saying wait 1 or 2 months or even a few days before releasing. It seems to be the best way to avoid the bug. I did a debug session for about an hour before this where I tried various different strategies to avoid this bug, and that was one of the strategies I tried and it didn't work. Perhaps I should erect a small army to deal with these upstarts. That just seems like a bit much. I don't want to spend all that manpower. Money, however, I seem to have in spades. How am I doing for mercenaries anyway? Normally I check over my save before starting up, but what with the debugging session I have not had the opportunity to do that. Well, I can't really allow them to occupy any of my territory, so I will slam into them with a vengeance. Tibet's looking at Tech 9, I'm looking at Tech 11, yeah, I'll body them. Creature Angie was asking how I got so much dosh. I used a little trick, a little bit of magic, and it gave me some free money. That's pretty much how it happened. If you want a better explanation than that, I punched money out of Jampur at the same moment I got a gift to the state, and that caused that gift to estate to come to the value of about 3,500 ducats. Get out of my land, Tibet. You were never meant to be free. In fact, might as well push on. These are just mercenaries. They can swallow the attrition. Where are they going to run to? Used to be that you could see the exact province that people were retreating to. That was really handy. Now you have to wait for them to go. So you're going to calm down or something like that. Very well. Now this create a proper fleet mission is actually going to be getting in my way quite a bit, so it would be a good idea of me to get a sizable galley fleet now. It'll be expensive, but we're going to have to live with that. Maybe get 20 units in production. I wonder, if I teched up, would I have better galleys? I would. And I'm no longer ahead of time, so let's do precisely that. And let's get our next national idea. Oh, they're still war galleys. Okay, let's cancel all of those then. I'm not sure how much of an improvement the galleass is. Is that all of them? Yeah. Alright. The hypest gameplay footage on Twitch. Doing this so that when I do come to fight Ming, I can beat him silly. That's the idea. I should probably check and see how he's doing in terms of a fleet. Ming's got... oh, don't like the look of that one bit. Maybe Japan? Yeah, maybe I'm going to need a bit more than 20. I'll try 30. Part of the reason though is I want to avoid that mission, create a proper fleet. Leave behind a token force to siege that province. It's their capital after all. And they only lost one province to Tibet, so that's good. Good for me. My plan is to go for either administration or expansion as my next technology. They both use admin points. But I'm thinking probably administration, better in the long run. That core creation cost. Not so much for making them cheaper, although that will help, but making it faster is quite a high priority. Tax or stab, never even a question. There we go. Just leave those guys sieging that one province. Johor is changed. That upped my unity by 3? Wow. See, on the one hand I want to stay on top of these conversions, on the other hand I need to get that religious unity down. So maybe annexing Tibet is the better option. Because it'll be cheap as chips to core. Of course, on the other hand, I'm running out of admin points here. Great. Ooh, not so great. I'm going to need more men down here if I want to deal with these native uprisings. These two inland areas look fine enough. But maybe I should take that instead. Decisions. That's a lot of men to dedicate down here that I'd really rather have back in the homeland. Well, I'll go with this province. No, we'll go with the island. Every province counts. On board, Golf 1 asks, what ideas I already have? I have exploration fleshed out, religious ideas fleshed out, and the first two ideas of humanism, and I will never take that third one. At least not as long as I'm a protectorate. Soon I'll get the National Academy for cheaper technology, an extra leader without upkeep, and prestige decays slower, since I already get +2 prestige every year. Before other modifiers, that's looking pretty good. Jake, you're going to make trade companies in Africa but no tax, but no, I can't make trade companies because I am a Chinese technology. Can't make them like that. 300, yeah, it's worth the dip power. Got to expand fast, got to get huge. Oh, that is fantastic news. Imagine if Jake accidentally took the third humanist idea. Yeah, that would almost be run over. Almost. Sorry, Tibet, but the only way this war ends is going to be with your absolute freedom. Also, I need to stop forgetting about these. It's because these building ships are getting in the way. That, and so is this. That's better. Still, he's probably going to take that province. Painful. My mistakes. My head is just so full of this this aggressive expansion problem that I'm losing my touch. Jake, what do you plan on doing with Orissa? I'm still thinking about that one. Right, there we go. Do I annex them? looks like Vijay's trying to take care of that for me. Vijay should be no problem though. No problem at all. What I should maybe do is deconstruct Vijayanagar into a bunch of smaller vassals, because those vassals won't have aggressive expansion towards me. Whereas if I just chain Vijay back to back and then release them, what if they have the aggressive expansion towards me? That would be pretty brutal. Tricky. Very tricky. Jake, you mentioned that tolerance of heretics was bad previously. That's not why I don't want the third idea. Having that third idea completely removes the it stops me being eligible for the Achieve Religious Unity mission, which is what keeps me afloat. Should I make my move on Orissa? Might be for the best at this stage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 200 admin points would be required to completely annex Tibet. Well, completely... Ugh, words failing me for real today. To completely core them. Of course, I've got truce with you, don't I? I could just tear it up, or I could wait 2 months. Quando down. Now here's the thing, they have the conquered rival province against me. That degrades yearly. Sending a gift doesn't degrade. Neither does issuing an embargo. What do you think? Should I annex and release Tibet? Or not? They'd be really good at converting their provinces. I think I will annex and release them. I know I need to get my religious unity. I need to get my religious unity down, but I'm sure I can do that through conquering Orissa. Neutral Havoc thinks he's cracked the issue. I can't see any of his messages though. Alright, having all of Tibet shouldn't put me over my limit. If I am right, as long as he has 2 or less positive modifiers, he can annex and release whoever he wants. I have no interest of turning Buddhist, thank you very much. Vassals, please, don't attach to me. So I got 44. Annexing you will not put me over. We'll just get it out of the way now. And I'll release you once this Orissa war is over with. Meanwhile, I'll need to consider the Oirat. I don't want them fighting me because they'll bring in Japan and Japan will steam me. Jesus, they're huge. Somebody knocking bricks together. Not only that, the Oirat haven't rivaled Russia. Everything's on tender hooks here. Okay, well, we will release Tibet when this war is over and see what they think of us. Bear in mind they only had one positive thing against us. And when I pick up my piece of paper where I was writing all these things down, the other thing where they lost the aggressive expansion, they only had one positive thing with me, and that was improved relations. Whereas, when I think about it, Jampur would have had 2 for taking a rival's province and for declaring war on that rival. And also thinking about it, I bet that Langshan had rivaled Champa, so they would have also had those 2 things. We're going to roll with that rule for now. If they have 2 or more positive things, then you're going to keep the aggressive expansion. Seems like a good rule. Tibet only had 1, so we're going to release them. But just to check, that barely scratched my religious unity. I need to take quite a lot of base tax of heathenous land in order to drop it down to 99%. I also really need to let my... Gee, I'd love to convert that land. Jake, don't you need Tibet's land to lower religious unity? Nah, I'll take some Indian land instead. Because Vijayanagara is going to have to bend over to my Tech 12 quite shortly. That Ryukyu on the map is indeed starting to look a bit glorious. And now I should have a big enough navy to prevent the construct a big enough navy mission. Also, because they're galleys, they don't cost me diddly squat. But there's very little point in paying them anyway. We'll keep paying them, because there are some times where I get caught out like that. Could also build some carvels, get some trade income going. It would almost entirely be through piracy, though. I'll let it slide. Build another bunch of galleys, though. Gotta play it safe here. Jay, keep building galleys so you can blockade Japan. I would love to ravage Japan. I would just annex them completely and then spit them out as a vassal, and I may end up doing that. Japan will be my conquest after India, I think, but I want to smash India as quickly as I can. Nothing's going to get smashed, though, if I don't get my navy together and take care of the southern tip of Orissa here. Oh, welcome back to the map, Koch. I'll have Holy War on you in just a moment. So I'll be having that province, thanks. May also consider forging a claim on Nepal and taking that outright. My vassals can deal with that other province. I'll get my mercs down to deal with this one province. I don't think Orissa has any men left, so it'll be no problem. Yeah, there we go. Holy War against Koch. My vassals can deal with that. There's quite a few things, but I have no interest in stability, thanks. We've got plenty of it. Now let's take care of these guys before they make anything of themselves. I don't want to lose my legitimacy, and I have no intention of letting my king die anytime soon. So your privileges must be earned, Ake. That, and I don't want to get any positive relations with anyone. That's a laugh. So I really hope I don't get that mission, that event, which gives me plus relations with all my neighbours, because that would be horrible. Okay, one core down. Tempted to start changing the religion of these, but I shouldn't put myself in over my head in that regard, because I need to finish this stream set up with 99% religious unity. One issue though is because I keep oh, did one of these get burned down? No, that can't be right. That's the one I'm colonizing. So this one finished, meaning I should probably build a few units over here to deal with the potential revolts. 4 should do. So what I'll do is I'll send one on the way. I've already got one. I will build 3 more. And hopefully I'll remember once those are finished. Oh, not enough to blockade that province. But this would be.